Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As some of you already know, I'm on a no-buy this year, and as part of my no-buy, I'm also trying to keep track of what products I'm using up, how long it's taking me to use those up, and whether I'm enjoying them or not. My goal with my no-buy has essentially always been to come up with a nice curated set of products that are my go-to and will stay my go-to for a lot of years to come. So as part of that plan, I'm going to be doing some form of a project pan, maybe 100 users or a 10 users type of project pan, depending on the season this year. But for today, I wanted to talk about the empties that I have so far in the year, both makeup and non-makeup related, but all of them are like related to beauty in some way or the other. So I just wanted to talk about those and go over whether or not I'd repurchase them, whether or not I'd maybe recommend them to a friend, and so on. For me, during the quarantine, I've really rediscovered my love for makeup and all things beauty. Just having all this time to myself has helped so much in figuring out what really are the beauty products that I use that help me feel more put together, regardless of what it looks like to someone else, whether I'm put together or not. What really helps me feel like, okay, I've got this under control, I can have a good day now. So that's my whole point of this year, trying to come up with a list of items that really make me feel like, okay, I've got this. What next? Like, what can I do next now that I feel more put together? Anyway, we've blabbered on enough about the introduction. Let's get into it. The two makeup products that I have that I loved so far this year and that I've completely emptied and that I would recommend to a friend and that I would personally repurchase when I'm done with my own stash of stuff are two actually eye products. One of them is a brow gel by Maybelline. This one's the Brow Fast Sculpt brow gel. It's a clear brow gel. I'm pretty sure you get these in brown or black colored ones. I have extremely bushy eyebrows, so maybe I should go with a clear one, but you do get them in different colors. I love this. The brush is so, you know what, I should pull this out. The brush is so cute and tiny that it's very similar to some high-end products like Benefit or Glossier, but except it's what, 3 or 4 times cheaper. I don't have too much to say about it. I don't do much with my brows. I don't fill them in or anything. I have really thick eyebrows, so all I need is a gel or whatever with a small applicator that can really get in the middle of my hair and can help set it. I don't need to add any more color or filling into these. They're fine as they are. I just need to set them really well, and that did a really good job, and I'm pretty sure it's less than $10. So it's so much better than buying stuff from Sephora that's so much more expensive, that's going to dry out in the same amount of time that this dries out, you know. The second product that I have with me, which I've emptied, that I loved so much that I would recommend to everybody and that I would definitely repurchase when I'm done with my set of mascaras, is this Clinique High Impact mascara. I don't know, it doesn't say anything else about it. It's just a black mascara. Yeah, it says it's in the shade 01 black. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is one of those things where it's like you're really getting your money's worth. This is a mini and this lasted me 6 or 7 months. I know that like people say you should replace your mascara in 3 to 4 months, but I swear to God, now I've had this in my collection, but it's been dried out for 3 or 4 months more. So it's been with me for over 12 months. And holy, it still has some liquid in it. I just stopped using it for hygiene reasons, but this is so good. I would definitely repurchase this when I'm done with my stash. I think I have 3 or 4 mascaras. I have an inventory video coming up, so we'll go over all the real details then. But I think I have enough for now. But this one, I'm definitely going to spend my hard-earned money on again in the future, for sure. Okay, next thing on my list of stuff that I loved, it's not makeup related at all, but I would still recommend people to go buy this, is the Seaweed Facial Cleanser from The Body Shop. Okay, mine looks really messed up. It's been through a lot. But yeah, this stuff is really good for people like me who have dry skin. I don't have very dry skin, although recently it's been changing up a little bit. But if you're someone who suffers with dry skin and you want some sort of gel cleanser, but you don't want it to be too harsh on yourself, I've noticed that pretty much the entire Seaweed line from The Body Shop is great for that. It says it's for combination or oily skin, and that means it's perfect for me because I do get some acne around here. But other than that, I have pretty dry skin, especially around my mouth. Holy, it is so dry. And this has been pretty gentle. It's gentle enough that it doesn't aggravate anything on my face. The next thing is a really silly one, but I don't know why I added it to my empties. I really like Speed Stick. I use this all the time. This is the only one that I get. It's the invisible powder free whatever, powder fresh scent. It's like extremely basic. I think it's just the cheapest. That's why I get it at the store. I don't know. I really don't have an explanation for this one. It's just the most inexpensive thing, and I have to use it just once a day. I don't need to reapply. This lasts me all day. So it's great. I don't really have too much to say about this. I don't even know why I added this in here, but okay. Okay, the last thing that I have in my list of stuff I loved that I would recommend to someone else and I would repurchase when I'm done with my own stash is this face mask. It's a tea tree face mask, again from the Body Shop, and it's pretty good. It's like a clay mask. Okay, so I used to have really oily skin, which is why I have a lot of things that are for oily combination skin, but over time my skin has turned into more combination dry skin. I wouldn't say it's oily anymore. It may have some slight oily patches once in a while, but it's really dry. But back when I did have oily skin, I used to use this. This is like a clay mask. It goes like, it just makes you snatch. I don't know how to explain it in real words, but it says it's suitable for blemished skin, instantly cools and lifts away impurities. It's exactly right. This is actually my second box of this. The first one someone had given to me as a present, and then I bought this one by myself and I used it up. It took me a long time to get through it. So 100 ml in this tiny little box goes a really long way. So this is something that I would repurchase, but I have a long stash of a lot of drugstore face masks that I need to get through before I get into this again. And to be honest, I do need to start looking into buying more hydrating masks for myself rather than clay masks. This was a really good one. Okay, we're finally moving on to things that I did like, but I don't necessarily care to repurchase them. Let's just say I'd repurchase them if they were on sale or something. So the first one is this lip liner by Miss Claire. It's just a waterproof lip liner. I think it was my mom's and I stole this from her. And I still have a little bit left in this, but it's just so dried out at this point that it's of no use to me. But if you see the shade, let me just keep it against my forehead, unlike regular people that put it up against their palms. I'm just like, okay, let me put this against my forehead. But if you look at the color, it's really beautiful for brown girls. However, it's extremely dried out, and I'm pretty sure this is my mom's. I used whatever I could out of it, but I think I'm over it. Wouldn't necessarily care to repurchase it. There's so much better stuff in the market that's cheaper and that goes on super smooth. I don't necessarily need it. If you notice my lips, I actually haven't put on any lip color today. I just put on some lip gloss and I just moved on with my day. No lip liner or anything. So on just a regular basis, I don't need that. I don't think I would go back into the store just to purchase this. However, if it was on sale, maybe I'd be like, oh, that's a cute pinkish nude. I'll get it. Okay, sure, maybe. I don't even know if I would, even if it was on sale, to be honest. Next thing on my list is this mascara that I'm pretty sure is from NYX, but I can't be sure because I don't have any marking left on it anymore. I did use it up. I'm just not picky about mascara. I'll use anything. But if I remember correctly, this didn't do much for me. It wasn't like volumizing or lengthening or anything. On the other hand, this Clinique mascara, I don't know, man. It says high impact. It really was high impact. I don't know. It just did everything for me. And it was a travel size one at that. I wish I had gotten a full size one. We can compare the two applicators of the one that I loved and the one that I think is all right. I think that they both have the same number of fibers, but I think that the Clinique one has just more staggered fibers, if that makes sense. So it ends up adding a lot of volume between the lashes too. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is about this. I think the Clinique one is the first high-end mascara that I bought, and I kind of understood why people spend so much money on mascaras, even though they dry out super quick. But the NYX one was alright. I don't think I'd repurchase it or recommend it to a friend again. The one good thing that TikTok did introduce to me is the Sky High mascara by Maybelline. God damn, that thing's fire. I think if I went to the drugstore, I'd look for that or the Clump Crusher by CoverGirl. I don't know why that mascara doesn't get enough love, but it's so good. I think I'm on my third tube of it now. It's so good. But anyway, I digress. The next one on my list for products that I thought were alright, but I wouldn't necessarily repurchase them again or recommend them to a friend is this concealer by NYX. I don't have the top, so I don't necessarily know the shade, but it's just called the HD Studio Photogenic Concealer. Pretty sure, actually, I'm 100% sure I got both of these together on like a sale or something at the NYX store. It's pretty good. It was my shade, but man, like over time, the drugstore has really leveled up. Now there's so much good stuff out there. Elf and Maybelline are just, and Rimmel are coming out with such good concealers that I don't think that NYX has made it when it comes to that. They have so much other overhyped or pretty well hyped stuff out there, so they don't necessarily need to make a great concealer right now. Like their brow glue or that marshmallow primer, whatever, all of them are popping off right now, so I think they don't necessarily need to make another bomb concealer, but it was just all right for me. I don't know, maybe there are people who've had an amazing experience with it. Okay, we're finally moving on to the stuff that I used up that I wouldn't recommend to anyone and I wouldn't repurchase, and it didn't do much for me. The other stuff that I talked about, like the NYX mascara and the concealer, it did what it had to do. It did what it advertised, but I just wouldn't repurchase it. But the remaining things that I have to talk about, that are all non-makeup, by the way, which is great, are things that I was like, oh, okay, it didn't even do what it promised it would do. Okay, the first one on this list is this eye lifting serum by Olay. To be honest, I don't know how old this is. I'm pretty sure this is my mom's and she wasn't using it, and I got really mad at her for wasting something that's so pricey, and then I just decided to put it on under my eyes. So I don't even know if it did any good, and I don't know, it may have just harmed me because it's so old, but I used it up really quick. You know what I did though? I used it mostly as a moisturizer rather than just an under eye thing, because I didn't feel safe putting it like in large quantities under my eye. So I'm pretty sure I used to dilute this with my other moisturizer, my regular moisturizer, and just put it all over the face. It did something, but really not enough. For how much people, especially women, pay for eye serums and wrinkle removing creams, I don't think any of them do much. I think we all collectively just need to accept that these products won't do much for us, and the only way we can get out of this whole aging is bad feeling is just by ourselves, like by working on ourselves, figuring it out. I don't think physically these products can do much for us. I don't know if that's a super negative opinion to have, but I just think I'm so sick of these tiny products being sold for like $20-$30. How much is in this? 15 ml? That's nothing. I used this up in 2 weeks because I used it as a moisturizer, but even my mom, who used it for a good few months before I took it from her, didn't get through it too much, didn't do much for her. It really didn't do much for me either. So I don't know if we should be falling for all these promises. Instead, I think we should just kind of accept that we're all going to age, and let's just aim at being okay with the aging rather than aging gracefully, or oh, she doesn't look her age. I don't know how I feel about these products. But anyway, the next one on my list is this little perfume by Guerlain. I'm pretty sure this is for men. Maybe that's why I just didn't enjoy it. It just had this really masculine smell. I don't even know what that means, because I think a lot of women like masculine smells, a lot of men like floral women scents. I don't even know what that means in this day and age, but I'm pretty sure this was for men, and I got it as a sample at Sephora. It's called Ombre Eternel. I'm pretty sure I butchered the French in that. It had a lot of accents that I just ignored, but it was pretty okay, but it was just too strong for me. It was too musky. I'm more of a citrusy, fruity, floral scent type of person, so it just wasn't my cup of tea. Wouldn't repurchase it and wouldn't recommend anybody to buy it, but that's just because all my recommendations are usually to my girlfriends. But maybe I'd recommend it to a guy friend, but I don't know. It's just an awkward in-between scent. Like, figure out whether you want to be musky or floral. You know, don't come to me with those problems. The last one on my list, which is something that I wouldn't recommend to anybody and I wouldn't buy myself, is this Dove Nourishing Secrets Restoring Ritual Body Lotion with coconut milk and almond milk for all skin types. Okay, first things first, can we please stop putting 7-8 descriptive words to describe a moisturizer? It's a moisturizer. Can we just call it Dove moisturizer? I'm over this. I'm over this whole restoring ritual body lotion thing that they're trying to do, this vibe that they're trying to go for, which is, it's not hitting with me. I have pretty dry skin and I thought this whole coconut oil, almond milk thing will do something for me. It really didn't. It really didn't do much for me at all. And okay, listen, I don't know about all the other things that I'm talking about. I don't know a lot about makeup, clearly. I don't know a lot about skincare. But when it comes to body lotion, I'm the person to come to when it comes to dry skin. You can come talk to me about your dry skin and what creams you use. Not something as serious as eczema, but I do have chronically dry skin and I use and test out a bunch of stuff on a regular basis to help me out. And honestly, right now, the best thing for me has been a combination of baby oil along with moisturizer when my skin is semi-damp after the shower. And Dove didn't fit into that. Right now, I'm using the Vaseline Dry Skin Repair and it's good. It's so much better than Dove, but it's still not super up there for me. But I'm getting there. I'm finding what really works for me. So if you had to take my advice on any one of them, take my advice on the dry skin stuff. Dove moisturizing lotion is really not it. I think the shampoo and conditioners are great, but this thing, it took me so long to get through it because it was so useless. And the last little bit, I just poured it into another container. Now I use that as a hand cream when I'm working. But if I'm going out, especially in the heat or on a dry-ish day, I definitely don't go for this. I'm so glad I managed to finish this in time because I really wanted to get started on some other moisturizers. So I'm so glad I finished this, but definitely wouldn't recommend this to anybody else. I'm so glad to have finished these and to be on my way to trying out more of the products that I already have at home. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way here with my rambly self, you're a real one. I hope you're having a great day or night wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.